It's time for Debrief, your quick wrap-up of TRT World's top stories from the week.
3 minutes.
Doesn't work automatically.
Can you center me?
30 seconds. Yallah.
US President Donald Trump has sent Iran a revised version of a proposed peace framework with new, tougher terms as the two sides search for an agreement to end their war.
On the table now is a memorandum of understanding that would reportedly extend the current truce for another 60 days. He's been facing a lot of pressure from Republicans on the Hill, Republicans who are friends of his, but they're concerned that he was making too many concessions in this memorandum.
Iran has reportedly suspended peace talks with the US. The Tasnim news agency affiliated with Iran's Revolutionary Guard is reporting the decision was made in response to Israel's bombing campaign in Lebanon against Hezbollah, as well as ceasefire violations on all fronts. It comes just hours after Iran attacked a US base in Kuwait in retaliation for American strikes.
We emphasized and still emphasize this point that the ceasefire in Lebanon is an inseparable part of any ceasefire and any final agreement to end the war.
You have two different narratives. Unfortunately for the Lebanese, their government is so weak, their army is so weak that they cannot force their hand on Israel. And it has to be some other party. The US, Netanyahu, Mr. Security, wants to make sure that he has some victory in hand.
Well, Donald Trump has denied reports that Iran has suspended ceasefire negotiations. In a post on Truth Social, the US president said talks between Washington and Tehran have been ongoing, adding it's time for Iran to make a deal one way or another.
They have to announce very clearly the straits are now open. We're not charging a toll. We will help remove the mines that they put in there, and they will not fire on ships. In addition to the straits, that's the predicate that opens the door to phase 2.
Hostilities across the Gulf have intensified, with Iran launching fresh attacks on Kuwait as tit-for-tat strikes between Tehran and Washington continue to escalate. Kuwait says it intercepted around 30 Iranian ballistic missiles and drones. Several projectiles got through and struck near Kuwait International Airport and surrounding diplomatic compound.
The latest escalation comes after the US carried out strikes across southern Iran, including the Qeshm Island, the fortified islands at the entrance to the Strait of Hormuz.
A clear message sent to the US president from the House of Representatives. Approval to block Donald Trump from continuing his war on Iran unless he gets the backing of Congress.
The Israeli army is pushing deeper into Lebanon, further than it's been in 26 years.
The ancient Beaufort castle, first bombed by Israel, then seized by its soldiers.
As far as the current conflict is concerned right now, Hezbollah is still saying that they're thwarting Israeli advances.
Tel Aviv's actions are raising international concerns. Diplomatic sources say UN Security Council is holding a meeting on Lebanon.
Donald Trump is saying that Hezbollah has agreed all shooting will stop. He's also saying that Benjamin Netanyahu has agreed not to send troops to Beirut.
Trump announcing on his Truth Social account that he's spoken both to Israel and through mediators to Hezbollah, and basically implying or suggesting that conflict between the two is pretty much over.
Trump said that because of that ceasefire, he was confident that a deal to extend the current Iranian ceasefire with a reopening of the Strait of Hormuz was possible over the next week.
The so-called cessation in hostilities in Lebanon is clearly not holding. Over 100 people were injured in Israel's Tyre hospital attack on Monday.
We rushed here. The whole hospital was damaged. Thank God I found him okay.
Every time we return to our homes, there is a warning for us to be displaced again.
In Tehran on Tuesday, there were demonstrations in support of Lebanon.
Well, US President Donald Trump has reportedly blasted the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in a tense, expletive-laden phone call. Trump was said to be furious at Benjamin Netanyahu, calling him crazy and telling him that everyone hates Israel over his plans for major strikes on Hezbollah targets in Beirut.
We've heard from the National Security Minister, for example, Itamar Ben-Gvir, who said that it's time to say no to President Trump and go after the southern suburbs in the capital, Beirut.
The new conditional ceasefire was reached on the fourth round of talks between Israeli and Lebanese officials brokered by Washington.
Iranian-backed Hezbollah has rejected a new ceasefire deal between Israel and the Lebanese government, casting doubt over peace negotiations between Washington and Tehran. But Israel says it won't fully withdraw, killing at least 12 people in the latest wave of attacks.
Here's the news in brief, where we bring you even more top stories.
As Washington's focus remains fixed on the Middle East, efforts to end Europe's deadliest conflict since World War II appear no closer to a breakthrough. Overnight and into Tuesday morning, Ukraine was hit by one of the heaviest Russian attacks in recent months. More than 600 drones and 70 missiles were used in the attacks, killing at least 23 people in Kiev and Dnipro and injuring dozens more. And Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy is again left to appeal to US President Donald Trump for more support, calling for additional missile interceptors. While Trump is not saying much on that at the moment, his House of Representatives has passed a bill on Thursday to provide aid to Ukraine and impose new sanctions on Russia. And on the diplomatic front, Zelenskyy has called for direct talks with Russian President Vladimir Putin, saying it would be wrong to wait until the war in Europe returns to the center of Washington's attention. But later on Friday, Putin rejected the offer. And while fighting continues in Ukraine, European governments are also trying to tighten pressure on Moscow elsewhere. French authorities detained a Russian oil tanker in the Atlantic Ocean on Sunday with support from the UK and other allies. French President Emmanuel Macron says the vessel is part of Russia's so-called shadow fleet. This is the fourth such move by France since autumn last year.
We consider these acts as illegal. They border on international piracy. We strongly disagree that they are being carried out in full compliance with international law. As you know, Russia is taking a number of measures to ensure the safety of its cargo, and will continue to do so in light of the negative experiences that we've had.
Back in the Middle East, Hamas says it remains willing to hand over administrative control of Gaza to the National Committee for Gaza Administration based in Cairo. But it's accusing Israel and the Board of Peace's representative for Gaza, Nikolai Mladenov, of obstructing that handover. Meanwhile, attacks in the enclave continue daily and have killed nearly 1,000 people despite the October ceasefire. Over in the United States, the American public is still at odds with Trump's immigration policy. Hundreds have been protesting outside the Delaney Hall detention facility in New Jersey over what they call inhumane conditions inside the center, and a hunger strike among the detainees. Authorities imposed an overnight curfew around the site to curb demonstrations.
What began as a protest over conditions inside Delaney Hall has now become a wider confrontation over immigration enforcement, policing, and the right to demonstrate. With the curfew now in place, anyone without official business in the area is being ordered to leave, and those who remain risk arrest.
Dozens defying those orders were arrested. And while the curfew was lifted on Wednesday, the protests have continued. All this is also raising questions over how upcoming World Cup visitors to the US would be treated. And on that note, on Tuesday, Trump's replacement Homeland Security Secretary threatened to curtail the processing of international travelers at Newark Liberty International Airport after local authorities declined to assist federal officers. But he's also saying that they're working very hard for it.
Because I think all of us want to highlight the greatness of the United States during this World Cup. We have 78 Super Bowls in 38 days, and hopefully we pull it off with complete safety.
The tournament, hosted by the United States, Canada, and Mexico, will be the biggest in its history. And with only days to go until the 2026 FIFA World Cup, attention is turning to the arrival of teams and supporters from around the globe.
Here's a sports exclusive with Haitian striker Francie Pirot.
Franzi Pierrot, thank you for talking to TR2 World. Now, you play for Haiti for the national team, right? You guys are going to go to a World Cup for the first time since 1974. You weren't born, you were born well after that. But can you just talk about the mythos of that World Cup and your country being able to go there?
I mean, it's crazy, you know, even word cannot describe how that feels, you know. It's been a long time since, you know, Haiti went to a World Cup, and for us to do it, it was a dream come true. Because as a young kid, you heard about Haiti going to the World Cup for a long time, but, you know, and also Haiti is a country that we support other teams, you know. So like most people in Haiti, they support Brazil or Argentina. So to be able to go to the World Cup, people can say, you know what, we're gonna support Haiti. It's crazy.
Can you talk about the moment you guys qualified? No doubt your phone was like buzzing throughout the night.
It was so many messages. I didn't even have time to even talk to anyone. I was so happy. The emotions, you know, I spoke to my dad. He was really happy. All the family, friends, they were sending me messages, congratulating me and stuff. Coaches, everyone. It was a proud moment, not only for me, but also for the whole country, because, you know, there's a lot been going on in the country, not a lot of people know about, but just to be able to make our people happy, and also it's the first time that, you know, the Haitian people are gonna be able to watch us because of everything that's going on in the country. And to go back to the whole qualification, when I say it was tough, we never played one home game. So can you imagine? We had to play in another country. All those tournaments, we had to do preparation in another country. So it was not easy at all. You know?
With football being the #1 sport in Haiti, how much was that pressure on your shoulders? You know, you said you didn't play at home, but you still felt that pressure a little bit, right? To be the spirit of the whole country.
Playing for Haiti, it's another pressure, because the whole country is watching you, and the whole country is counting on you, because people live for football. Everything that's going on in the country, if we're playing, everything stops. There's no crime, people are watching the game, and if we win, everybody's in the street celebrating, you know. And mind you, they have a lot of problems. There's a lot of things going on. You know, we are the only one who actually bring them happiness, and also that can actually make them forget what's going on in the country. This is why the pressure is a lot, because they only got us. I mean, just think about it. Nobody believed that we'd be in the World Cup. So anything is possible. Obviously, it's the World Cup. Every team is gonna come ready. We respect all those teams in the group.